#1 since 1998 on television, ESPN Radio, and the World Wide Web. This is the Pro Wrestling Report with your hosts, the man they call Meathead, Frank Cosentino, and Dameon Nelson. Professional wrestling news, opinion, and information from fans for fans.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Pro Wrestling Report Interactive. Meathead, I am tired.
I'm tired of you too, so let's do this.
No. See, I didn't say I was tired of you. That's a given. I'm tired. We did a lot of interactive last week, and here's the end result. Our email inbox is even fuller than it was when we emptied it. So we appreciate that. You guys have had some tremendous questions, and we're going to answer some of those emails at pwrshow.com, and we're going to answer them here in this edition of Interactive as well. And we'll continue to answer them, so continue to send them. But don't get frustrated if we don't get to yours right away. Only so much time on TV each week for us to answer them. So let's stop wasting it and get right down to it. The first email comes from Chris L., who says, this past week on Interactive, you asked the question, who is the closest thing to The Rock since The Rock? You said you feel, this is to me, you said you feel it's The Miz, while Meathead said he felt it was Mr. Anderson. Personally, I'm going to cast my vote for someone who many of you may not think of. Based on promo skills that I've only recently come to notice, I've got to say the guy currently in a major promotion the most like The Rock is D'Angelo De Niro of TNA. His Pope gimmick allows him to be legendary when it comes to his time on the mic, I think. And I have in fact said this exact thing to many of my friends, and that he will be the next version of The Rock. And that's from Chris from North Carolina. You still stand behind Anderson?
I'm just happy that you didn't say the other thing. I stand behind Anderson.
Khaki like?
And I say that Anderson's going to be the next big thing. But see, here's the thing.
What's the thing?
Why be the next something else? Be the first you.
You know, I say that Michael Bublé is the new Frank Sinatra.
Who?
Because if you're the next anything, you're never going to be anything. But comparing skills and talents to a former star is certainly not a bad thing, and I think the Pope is up there. I would tend to agree with Chris. The Pope is pimping, and whenever he's on a mic, I do
just
think
like you were the next Maven. You were the...
No, Maven was the next Dameon.
You were the next referee on Raw.
The next Dameon.
Let's go, Obama.
You're the one who brought it up. Thank you very much for that compliment. Next email comes from Casey, who says this. I want to get your opinion. With all the WrestleMania matches slowly starting to develop, I can't shake the feeling that Sheamus won't be involved. Think about it. His only rivalry on Raw is with Cena, and it looks like Cena is getting involved with the Bret Hart-Vince McMahon feud. The only ones that make sense are Edge, who is pretty much set on facing whoever wins the SmackDown Elimination Chamber, and Randy Orton, who looks like he'll be putting over Ted DiBiase at WrestleMania. So where does this leave Sheamus come April?
Well, come April, the WrestleMania will be over already, and we'll be building up towards Backlash. So come WrestleMania. Well, I mean, we know how you are with dates and messing up tapes.
WrestleMania is March 27th, which is basically April.
March 27th is 4 days before the end of March.
I'll answer your email because you asked it.
Here's the thing with Sheamus. Sheamus is most likely, unfortunately I don't like it, but most likely going to go against Triple H, the winner of the Raw Elimination Chamber. He doesn't have to have anything until the chambers are done. Once that pay-per-view is done, then everything will start to take place.
Thank you for that email. Now Bobby Powell sends this email in and asks this question. It has occurred to me that Dixie Carter's business is under a name currently copyrighted by Vince McMahon. And as I understand, the TNA name belongs to WWE as it was created originally for the team comprised of Test and Albert, with Trish Stratus as their manager. Do you think this fact has not come to light because Vince has forgotten, and he did not forget to strip Team 3D of the original name, or is there something I'm missing that allows Dixie to use the name TNA? Well, Bobby, it's T&A that WWE used. It was not TNA. So there is no conflict there, and no WWE does not own TNA.
The thing with the Dudley Boys, Vince bought the name the Dudley Boys, so Team 3D is a different deal altogether. Brother Ray, Brother Devon.
Jeff from Iowa sends this in, the subject, why is everyone so down on Orton? I've been listening for a couple of years and respect your opinions. Thank you very much for that. I'm hearing a lot of people down on having the same people in the main events in WWE, and therefore it seems to be getting stale, which I agree to a certain extent. One person in particular who is in the good old boys club of main eventers is Randy Orton. I understand he's been in a lot of main events, same as the rest, but unlike the Triple H's and John Cena's and Batistas, he seems to be coming into his own as a character. He reminds me a lot of Steve Austin, and I think WWE is starting to take him in that same take no BS good guy direction. And I, for one, am intrigued because I think that Orton has the most potential as a character still of anyone I've seen since the Attitude Era. Thank you for that email, Jeff from Iowa. Makes very valid points. Randy Orton, a strong person. I said, I believe on last week's ESPN radio show, that a lot of people talked about how bad the feud got between Randy Orton and John Cena, but I will admit that their matches towards the end of that feud were very entertaining and very well done, thus showing the power of both men, and people are still buying, fewer though, but people are still buying the same people in the main events, and they've taken chances with Sheamus. One would think R-Truth is going to be getting more of a push as he has over the last few weeks.
Say what? What's up? What's up?
I don't know what that means. Thank you very much for that email. Next is an email that comes from Enos Durmick, who says, I think that TNA and Panda Energy are spending millions on the likes of Hulk Hogan, Eric Bischoff, Ric Flair, and Mr. Anderson. But where is the payoff? The February 4th edition of Impact only got a 1.2 rating, which is only 0.1 more than the February 5th, 2009 episode. And it's a 17% decline to the record Thursday rating of the week before. Where do you see TNA by January 1st, 2011? How will their business and ratings and product be? Very good question sent in by Innes.
I don't know if it's that great a question. Here's the thing. You're going to see the payoff for all this stuff come in the weeks and the months. Again, just because you start your company on this huge plan doesn't mean you're going to see the payoff instantly.
Well, he's asking what our thoughts are on January 1, 2011, a year from now.
I see that, the Nasty Boys will be long gone out of TNA. I see that, your Scott Steiners and, your other older, more established stars may be thrown to the back. They may be there to maybe put over another talent. But I see that they're using the established stars, the old school main event stars, to get over the new stars, because you got to build a company somehow. You can't just build it with young star versus young star for 6 months.
Thank you for that email. Next email comes from Mike, who says this. As much as I hate to say it, Damien's right. The Miz has that charisma and psychology that made The Rock great. He reminds me of a mix of the Great One and of a mid-90s Shawn Michaels. He's come a very long way, and honestly, I believe he will be headlining within a couple of years.
Headlining what? And In Your House?
While Meathead was close with Mr. Anderson, who truly is the greatest star of the current wrestling era, I would compare him more to Steve Austin than anyone else. Anderson is the most original character to hit wrestling in years, and he's so cocky that you want to hate him but can't help but to like him. Wow, for the first time in a long time, I'm excited to be a wrestling fan again. Thank you for those thoughts, Mike, talking about The Miz and Anderson. Next one comes from Conan McGonagall. Yep, from over in the UK. He says, over the last couple of weeks, I've grown sicker and sicker of the Raw guest hosts. They seem to take away from what really matters from the show, which in the end of the day is wrestling. My question is...
I don't know about that.
My question is, when will the guest host era end, and who will be the Raw GM?
Here's the thing. The most important thing, what really matters to WWE, isn't wrestling. It's entertainment. That's what they are. They're an entertainment company. And what matters to Vince McMahon and the rest of the WWE higher-ups and brass is money. Money derived from merchandise, money derived from ratings, money derived from ticket sales, pay-per-view buys.
All right.
Wrestling is far from their minds.
Conan, thank you very much for that email, and I want to remind everybody to take a listen to the Pro Wrestling Report at 540 ESPN. We're live every Monday night, Meathead. We do it live. Every Monday
Do it live!
Right after WWE Raw, streaming at PWRshow.com. And as a matter of fact, I don't know if you recall, but it did win the Wrestling Radio Award for the broadcast
2009 Broadcast Show of the Year.
Broadcast Show of
That's
the
voted
Year.
on by you, the people.
Absolutely, and we thank you for doing that, and be sure to tune in. Last week, well, are you going to get a chance to rebut Al Snow? Rebuke?
No, I'm not butting
Rebut.
anything with Al Snow.
Rebut? Rebuke?
You know,
Al
you
Snow
know
was our
how to
guest
look
host
up
this past
dictionary
Monday.
on the internet, but you don't know too much about using the language.
A rebuttal. Did you want to rebut anything he said? Or provide a rebuttal?
A rebuttal would have been fine if you would have started there instead of trying to be funny.
Why do you waste so much time? You know, as a matter of fact, we talked about winning that award. Did you just say something about me trying to be funny? I don't do comedy. I do reporting. You're the one who wastes all this time every week trying to be funny. As a matter of fact, though, you did. I understand, Cal. Is it true we have received, finally, the award for Meathead?
Yes.
Well, let's make that presentation now. Last week, David Hero brought you an orange. Or 2 weeks ago, brought you an orange. That was the Fruit of the Year award. I understand you've gotten another award, and our senior intern, Cal, has it. Here. What? What?
Is this
Wait
a
a minute.
hamster wheel?
Yeah.
I hope there's not a hamster. Where's the hamster?
I don't know.
Or is it a
buddy.
gerbil?
I have no idea.
What? Cal? Cal. Wait a minute. I don't... Did... This is the Spin of the Year award. So now I guess...
Oh, I get it
Every
now.
time you spin something, 'cause, I never spin anything. And every time you spin something, we're just going to spin that. Thank you, senior intern Cal, for, he had some words for you. Let's go.
They weren't words, they were more gestures than anything
Let's
else.
go to our final email of the week. And I wonder if anyone can actually see the, let's do, no. Because, it's the wrong color.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. You already offended the intern during the taping. You've already offended some of our viewers by dropping bombs.
What? Whoa. What bomb did I drop? No, what did I do? Seriously, refresh, because I forget half the stuff that happens.
Wasting our time.
But you are amazing. You keep getting all these opportunities to frickin' make your point. Yes, I said frickin' because he swore and said shat, which is a word that is not to be used on this program. It was the last time you're going to hear it because it's lowbrow. We're highbrow.
No, you're not highbrow. I've watched this very program. I watched the product. Highbrow is something you don't do. Now, no brow.
Every time
That's
you get a
something
chance to
you
make
can
your point, you don't make one. We're going to sit you down in front of a camera and give you a chance to make a point. See if we can do it then.
Absolutely. Just like you'll say that I avoided Brian Knobs. I avoided Al.
You avoided Brian Knobs, did you or
No.
did you not? You sat on a radio show and didn't turn your mic on, like somebody's going to know that.
What did I have to add to the program? And you know what? Nobody threw to me to say, Brian, would you like to...
This is going to turn into Elizabeth Hasselbeck and Rosie O'Donnell. You'll be Rosie on the View.
You're definitely Rosie.
There ain't nothing Rosie about me.
If you only knew, Rosie.
If only knew what?
You're wasting time.
I'm not wasting time. I'm giving you... Well, you always want to make your point, and you never make one. We're going to give you a chance. We're going to sit you down in front of the camera and see if you can produce anything. Let's go to our final email of the week. Comes from Aaron Wiles from West Jefferson, North Carolina. Thanks for... never mind, sorry. I've been hearing a debate go on for 3 weeks now about the legend killer Randy Orton. Recently... What, you got a problem with Aaron?
Because you guys keep bringing it up, and, it would be professional.
Why
of
don't
us
you let me finish?
to finish it off.
Recently, Randy seemed cool and collective and not so vile on Raw. Even though Cody won the match this Monday, I feel Randy has to turn face because him being heel isn't getting him anywhere, but in the middle of a fight between Ted and Cody. Could you retract your frustration? Because
My
Aaron's actually
frustration
supporting you.
Thank you, Aaron, by the way, from North Carolina. Not Kakalaki, but North Carolina.
Nobody said it but you.
I just said it there. Thank you for supporting me, even though I didn't need it, to be honest. But thank you. Here's the thing. Again, if you have a guy that comes out continuously and gets these face reactions from the crowd, how can the man be a true heel? A true heel is one that gets booed. He gets the reaction out of the crowd that a heel is supposed to be getting. I I loathe you. I hate you. Back in the day, like in the AWAs, old women used to swing their purses at him and try to hit him as they were coming down the aisle. If they would have saw him, out on the street, they'd, try to beat him with their canes and, knock their blue wigs off. That's a true heel. Chris Jericho right now, to me, is a true heel. I'm done.
Thank you for that email.
Thank you for the opportunity.
It still doesn't. I completely disagree, but you're entitled to your opinion.
No.
There is no heel like that.
I'm talking about the opportunity you just gave me without cutting me off. Thank you.
There is no heel like that. And there hasn't been since the 80s, when people were getting stabbed on the way of the ring and beers thrown to them
Jericho
on the way of the ring.
Because he's getting that reaction. He comes down with a grimace on his face.
So when Bret Hart went to Calgary and got the biggest face pop at Calgary Stampede in 1997, was he not a true heel?
Special circumstance.
But they cheered.
They cheered because he's Canadian. And Canadians are special people. We love you, but you're special people.
Coming up this Friday, Dave Hero and myself will bring you the 10 best tag teams of all time. And that was stemming from our conversation with Brian Knobs on a recent edition
of
Pro
Wrestling
Wrestling
Nasty
Report
Boys aren't in it.
On 540 ESPN. You'll have to tune in on Friday to find out the Pro Wrestling Report 10 best wrestling tag teams of all time. So be sure to tune in for that. And another new edition of the Pro Wrestling Report on 540 ESPN this Monday. Lots of big news this week in professional wrestling. And we'll be covering all of those big announcements of earlier in the week on this upcoming Monday's wrestling radio show, the top wrestling radio show in the world today on 540 ESPN and streaming live at espnmilwaukee.com and pwrshow.com. So until then, we will see you Friday on PWR Prime Time for our 10 best tag teams of all time.